Hey guys, Doc. I'm gonna do a tip video on some simple steps if you want to have the perfect lawn, especially if you have Bermuda lawn. That's what I'm gonna talk about today. But things you need to be doing right now. We're getting into the springtime. Temperatures are finally starting to warm up, and here's a checklist that I'm gonna do to help you guys get a really thick dark green lawn. So hold on one sec. Hey guys, it's been a real busy week and I have got videos stacked up the butt. I just finished making a Humichar commercial for the website. We wanted to put up a nice looking, 2-minute commercial type video for Humichar. If you haven't watched that, it's up on the channel. Watch that. It came out pretty good. The other thing we're doing, I got so much to do. We're doing a pressure washer series. We're doing the pool. We're doing driveways. We're doing houses. We're doing all kinds of stuff. I already did a review. If you haven't seen the review, watch that. I'm going to be doing my second application, my last application, a late spring sort of pre-emergent spray. And I'll show you why here in a second. I got a few weeds starting to sprig up a little bit. I'm going to show you that. My tiller, I already did a core aeration. And what I'm doing now, I'm switching over from cores to tines, solid tines. So I'll show you that. Oh, I'm backlapping reel mowers the other day. I figured I'd shoot that video real quick. We're treating lawns across the street with different products. I'll put that. I'm dealing with brown patch on my front yard, which I've dealt with ever since we've bought this house. We've dealt with it. But this year, because of all the rain we've had, it's gotten really, really bad. So my front is actually struggling with this brown patch. Half the lawn is beautiful and half is dealing with brown patch. The garden is amazing. Oh, let me show you real quick. I've got the second video series on my golf green coming up. Now, last time I did a simple step with just sand. This time we put on a dark leveling mix. You can see how dark brown it is versus white sand. And I've seeded it. I decided to seed it with 2 different types of Bermuda. I got that on video. Let's see what else we got. Let me think. Oh, glasses. Everyone keeps asking about these glasses. And I bought 11 pairs of glasses to review for you guys, which ones I like the best. Surface cleaners, I ordered 6 surface cleaners for you guys to test them. I haven't done that video yet. I think the girls are gonna come over and help me with that. My garden back here. Now this is the garden where we don't use any fertilizer. We're just using Humichar and organic matter inside the mulch and then putting that mulch in the garden. And these things were, what, 8 inches 4 weeks ago? Look at them. They're absolutely enormous. These are just, these tomato plants are just absolutely enormous. They're over 3 feet tall now. So I got a bunch of these videos coming out. But I want to talk today. I'm going to stop and let's just do a real quick breakdown on things you can make sure you've got done right now this year in your lawn. All right, so as you can see, it's a beautiful evening. This is just gorgeous weather. It's probably about 70 degrees right now. There's a breeze. The grass is absolutely perfect. But what I want to do is I just want to run down a checklist for you guys to make sure that you're in line. First, always subscribe. Otherwise, you'll miss all those videos I'm talking about. Next, the Bermuda Lawn Guide. The Bermuda Lawn Guide. It took us 8 months to write this thing, and it's up and it's free. And you can go there, and there's a place that you can go, and it says subject by subject. And you just roll down and pick the subject. So if you want grubs, if you have fungus, fertilizers, whatever you need. The Bermuda Lawn Guide is really helpful and we'll just walk you through the entire year. And it has a calendar on it, so make sure you go to the Bermuda Lawn Guide. By the way, if I talk about something, it's going to be in the description below. I always put this video on a web page and all the products. So like if you need pre-emergent, which everyone has to have down, or whatever you need, it'll be in that. Click the link below and go to the page. So I'm going to break this list into 3 basic categories. Number 1 is going to be food for your plant. We're going to call that your lawn, food for your lawn. Fixing the food problem. Number 2, fixing the soil problem. And number 3, problems, general problems that we need to address. So let's talk about the food. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say PGF Complete. PGF Complete is a 4:1:2 ratio. It's a 16:4:8. It has all your micros, has your macros, has heavy iron inside of it, has humic DG inside of it, has everything your lawn needs. But you have to understand this about PGF Complete. PGF stands for professional grade fertilizer. And the reason why it's professional grade is this is the same thing that's used on golf courses and on sports turf. It's very, very fine particles and it's mild. So it's about half the strength of a normal fertilizer on purpose. And what that allows us to do is come out and put every 3 weeks during this period, this cool, nice growing period where temperatures are just getting into the 80s, every 3 weeks we can come out here and do a light application of PGF Complete, a bag grade application. And that's what we're doing back here. We came out and just put it down, wait about 3 weeks, put it down, wait about 3 weeks, put it down. And you put it down repeatedly. If storms come up, you don't have to worry about it. If you're cutting your lawn, your fertilizer moves, you don't have to worry about it. And that's the whole premise here. Instead of dumping one big heavy load on your lawn, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back and we're gonna go light, light, light. That's the premise behind PGF Complete. Total nutrition, put it out, put it out, put it out. You can spray with super juice. I'm spraying my lawn. I'm only spraying my lawn with super juice probably about every 3 or 4 weeks because my lawn is so healthy it just doesn't need that much. And then of course I'm putting down Humichar and I'm putting down the organic material, but that really comes into more of the soil correction. So I want to stress again, this is the period where you want to fertilize very heavy before the heat of the summer gets here. Again, PGF Complete is in the description below. Sometimes the 40-pound bags run out. Sometimes it's just the 18-pound bags. They're about the same price. It doesn't matter. I like the smaller bags personally, but you order what you want. Now, fixing your soil. I can't stress this enough to you guys. It's never too late to get a soil test. I got one early, late winter, and then a couple weeks ago I got another one. I even sent my garden soil in because I wanted to see what that was. I went sent it to Clemson. I like that Clemson test. Look for that video. And it's just, man, understanding what's going on in your soil. If you have a phosphorus spike because you were using something like Milorganite, you don't know it unless you actually get a soil test done. If you have a phosphorus deficiency, you won't know it unless you get a soil test done. So I really encourage you to stop, do a soil test. Doesn't matter what time of the year, middle of August, I don't care when it is, just get that information. But when we talk about our soil, we want to make sure that their pH is correct. So we want to have a good pH test. I don't like to correct pH and during the growing season, and if I do it very lightly, very lightly, very lightly. I hate to come out here and put a whole bunch of lime out here trying to fix it this time of year. But you can get your soil test, check your pH. The next thing we want to do is we need to put carbon in this lawn. We need to put carbon and we need humates in our lawn. That humate, that makes that soil that dark, rich material. The reason why your lawn is solid clay and it's not that dark brown, rich garden soil is because nothing ever dies on your lawn. We hope not. So I don't have any animals. I don't have a bunch of vegetation. You know, I don't have wildfires coming through here and burning vegetation and leaving carbon deposits. That doesn't happen on my lawn. So what we have to do is we have to artificially create that. The way we artificially create that is by putting biochar in the form of humichar on our lawn. So we put humichar, we put the humic acid on our lawn, and we put it out heavy and we put it out often. The other thing we do is we put this organic matter that I talked about. Now it's basically chicken feed, a very special kind. But the reason why we put that out is because it's organic matter. That's all we're putting down. You can put down crushed soybean if you want. You can put down this chicken feed. But we want to put that clean organic matter down on our lawn. The microbes will eat it and digest it. It will release nutrients in our lawn, but at the same time it goes through a process called humification. In the humification process, basically it breaks it down to the point where it can't be broken down anymore, and that's how you get that dark brown soil, by adding carbon in a humification process. If you don't do that, you'll never improve your soil. So, improve your soil. Your soil is your lifeblood. There's a great quote from a guy that wrote the book called Gardening Myths. And he said one of the biggest myths is that we fertilize our plants. We don't do that. We fertilize our soil and we let our plants choose what nutrients they want. I think that quote should ring in your head forever. And if it does, you'll understand how important it is to fix your soil. Now let's talk real quick about problems. Since we bought this house, I've had brown patch out front. And it's been okay to deal with, but this last season with all this rain, it's like half my front yard is struggling with brown patch. And let me tell you what, I'm treating the living heck out of it. And I'm just battling it. I really need some hot, dry weather probably to move in before it's actually going to be cured. I am putting down fungicide. So if you have, let's talk about funguses. If you have dollar spot, if you have brown patch, if you have any funguses, there's a new granular fungicide that I put a link to, so you can go get that in the description below. And I really like that product because it spreads really evenly. It's a great product. So if you have any kind of fungus, treat it right away. Next, let's talk about bugs. A lot of people say you need to put down a preventative treatment this time of year. Okay, I agree. But one of the biggest things that I think you should do is if you look and if you have active growing grubs, those grubs are eating your roots. Kill the grubs. Put out the double kill. I'll put a link to it in the description below. I can't tell you how many lawns I go to this time of year and see these big brown patches. This time of year, dig it up and I see a bunch of white grubs. So if you have big brown spots all over your lawn, there's a chance, if you've never checked, dig it up, inspect it for grubs, and if you find a bunch of grubs, not one or two, but a bunch of grubs, then go ahead and get the double kill product and treat the living heck out of it. Kill the grubs. We really kill them in the fall, late summer, early fall. We really attack them, but now if they're eating roots, you got to kill them. So that's why I say go ahead and kill them. When it comes to another problem, some people talk about red tips on their lawn or yellow blades of grass. And of course, in the Bermuda Lawn Guide, I talk about red tips and yellow blades. Of course, yellow blades right now is pretty common because it's chlorosis, and a lot of that has to do with oversaturation of soils. Some of it has to do with high phosphorus levels. That could be a cause of it too. But if you go to the Bermuda Lawn Guide, you'll learn how to treat that. One of the things you can do is make sure your lawn has a tendency to dry out in between waterings. Remember, we're not in a drought. So what we want to do in this cooler weather is if we get, last night we had almost 3 inches of rain. I'm not going to water for probably a week. I'm going to let my soil dry out. My lawn's not going to burn out. I'm going to let it dry out. But make sure you give your lawn that break where you get a heavy watering and then it dries and dries and dries and dries. When we get into drought conditions, that's when we can do that sort of spot watering that I always talk about, more frequent watering. But during this time of year, let your lawn dry out. Otherwise, you'll start to have a bunch of fungus issues and chlorosis issues. I also address in the Bermuda Lawn Guide, right about now, if you're going to seed, if you have to seed a Bermuda lawn, which I don't like you to do if you already have sod, and I cover that in the Bermuda Lawn Guide, why you don't overseed a Bermuda lawn. But if you're going to seed a new lawn, man, what a beautiful time to do it. Seeding should be done when it's about 80-degree temperature. When temperatures are starting to hit in the 80s, that's the perfect time to seed. Also, if you're going to get sod put down, now's the perfect time to put down sod. And if you're putting down sod and you're going to till up your lawn, dump down a ton of humichar, because you can dump down the humichar, till it up, it's deep in the soil, and then lay your sod, dude, you'll be all set. I mean, if I could pick my whole lawn up and till up 6 inches and till a bunch of tons of humichar in here, I'd do it and then set it all down. If that brown patch issue doesn't get fixed out front, I may end up having them come just tear out my whole front yard and just put in a brand new sod lawn. I'm just getting so tired of dealing with that. Morning. It's actually the next morning. The video got a little bit longer than I thought, but I hope it's helped you guys sort of walk through some of the issues that you face this time of year. But remember, Bermuda is a really different kind of grass in that we can really push it hard without too much concern. We really want to feed it, feed it, feed it, and feed it. And this is that window. This is that feeding window that I talk about all the time. We got these beautiful days. Today is going to be 80 degrees for a high. I had a huge amount of rain a couple days ago, so my lawn is just so thick. I mean, I feel like I'm standing on shag carpet with a ½ inch of foam on it. It's just incredible. There's a layer of dew all the way across it. But I hope you'll subscribe. I hope this has helped. And don't forget, we got a ton of videos coming out. All this fence stuff that we're having to repair, it just got a bunch of them. Don't forget the Bermuda Lawn Guide. Make sure you use that. It's free. It's up. It should help you through it. And on our website, there's a link that's called Product Links. And just about everything is kept up to date there, so you can check there. Talk to you later. Doc.